guys, welcome back. It's Jess. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my weight loss journey so far and kind of my goals for the future. Just make sure to like and subscribe and hit that little bell. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All right, let's get into it. So I'm just gonna give you a little brief history about me. After I graduated high school, I was kind of at my preferred weight. I'm 5'7", and at the time I weighed 145. Right after that, I met my husband, and 2 years later, we got married, and I weighed 155 on my wedding day. 155 wasn't bad. Yeah, 155 is not a bad weight for me. I think where I've been to where I am now, I think 155 is a good goal weight for me to get back to. At least that's what I'm working with. So, okay, so we got married, and then right after we got married, I decided to go on birth control. I went on the Depo shot for about 6 months and ended up gaining, I want to say 20 to 25 pounds within 6 months. It was a lot. It was crazy. I then started a job that I really loved and, got off the Depo shot. It was like, no more of that, because I just felt so uncomfortable. None of my clothes fit, and I started up at a gym. Ended up doing pretty decent there. I was there for about 4 months, and at the time, I didn't weigh myself, so in my head, I'm pretty sure I was right around 175. And I started, doing HIIT workouts, heavy weightlifting, but the problem was my form was terrible. So I ended up hurting my back really bad and was unable to walk for a couple weeks. So after that, I kind of just gave up because, I had put in all this hard work and I ended up hurting myself, and it just kind of like hit me a little bit. It's like, once you're really high up and then something just knocks you right back down, and that's just how it seemed to keep happening for me. During those 4 months of working out, like I said, I didn't weigh myself, but I did take measurements, and at the time, I think I lost about 6 inches off my waist that I know, and I was putting on muscle and everything, so at the time, weighing myself wasn't super important to me. I wanted to, get toned and muscular, and that's still kind of the goal for me now, but I've got a lot more things I gotta do before I feel like I can get there. So fast forward again, another 6 months, and I think I put some weight back on. I know I lost a lot of muscle mass at that point. And then I started a job that was very physically demanding. Like, I was walking a lot, running around a lot, 40 hours a week. Didn't sit down like at all. And at that time I started calorie counting pretty heavily and ended up losing about 15 pounds that month. And I did weigh myself. I started at, and of course I didn't take like any pictures of this, but I started at, I think like I was 170 at the time when I had started that, and ended up, 15 pounds lighter. Then I don't really remember all what happened after that. I think I kind of stayed at that weight a little bit. I gained probably about 5 pounds of that back, just eating bad. Then fast forward, I went through a bit of a depressed state. I do have a lot of anxiety and depression. For those of you who do, can definitely relate to that. I've had it all my life. It's definitely influenced my weight fluctuation. But I tried many diets off and on, and nothing was consistent, nothing worked. And then lo and behold, we wanted to have a baby. So we got pregnant on our first try. That was wonderful. Before I got pregnant, I was 185. So this is the part that's important, that kind of fast forwards to my more current situation. I ended up gaining 40 pounds with my pregnancy. Now, it's a little trick there, because I ended up getting to 120. Sorry, 120. No, I wish I was 120. No, 220. When I got to 220, I ended up gaining 10. This is how, my son came early. So that just goes to show you that what happened next. So I gained 10 pounds of fluid in 10 days. I'm not really counting that because it didn't, that's why I say it's like technically that doesn't count towards my pregnancy weight, because I gained the 10 pounds of fluid, ended up having him. Long story short with that, I ended up getting back down to my pregnancy weight 2 weeks after I had my son. And that was because something with the side effects of the anesthesia made me not want food at all. I was not hungry, so I didn't really eat for 3 weeks. And all I did was drink a ton of water. Don't recommend any of that, but I just couldn't eat any food. So this is where more current situation comes into play. So now, right when he was about 4 months is when I went into severe postpartum depression. If you can relate to that, girl preach, like that was a time. I don't know, my postpartum depression, I mean, I had pregnancy depression because, you know, that's just who I am as a person, but postpartum depression was crazy for me. I ended up legit turned into an alcoholic for 3 or 4 months. And in that 3 and 4 months, I ended up putting on 20 pounds. I was drinking nonstop every single day, noon until midnight, like every day. And I don't know what it was, I just craved it. I craved the alcohol. And then along with alcohol, you get you munch and you food eat, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, and then something just clicked and snapped. And right after my son turned 8 months old, this was I think around December, it just went away. I had no cravings for alcohol anymore. I wasn't depressed anymore. Everything just went like that. And you know, during that postpartum depression, like all my hair was falling out. So I knew it was more than just, it was hormonal based. Like it wasn't anything that I could control. But December rolled around, you know, the New Year's resolution stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this under control. I'm not happy in my body. None of my clothes fit. I stopped wearing bras because none of my bras fit either. Like that's how bad it was. So it's different when you gain 20 to 40 pounds when you're pregnant because that's like in your tummy area. But when you gain 20 pounds after you've had a baby, the weight goes everywhere. Like, oh my gosh, like I had never experienced anything like this before. Obviously 200 pounds was my heaviest weight ever. And I just needed to do something different. So yeah, so I just, 2 months later, I am down to 178. So technically lost around, 20 pounds. And I'll get to what exactly I did to do that in my other videos. So I'm just telling you my journey and where I started to where I am now. And I've got like all these goals I'm trying to set for myself. But so yeah, that's just my story so far. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I look forward to taking you along this little fun ride with me. Like I said, like and subscribe, and thanks so much.